So now we've created our mailing, and we're on our dashboard page. So when you click on the date, it's just going to take you to the mailing where you can edit the dates and so forth. Or if you click on the ads part, you get to the ad overview. And I'll show you if you're on the actual mailings list page. This just gives you a list of all of your mailings that you have in the system. You click here on the overview page, this takes you to the overview, and this is just going to show you the layout. And this way you don't have to have a graphic designer build one postcard that has all the ads on it every single time. You can actually create ads separately, like you can outsource that on Fiverr, or in my case, there were a number of franchise businesses that had their own graphics departments that were very strict about what could be shown. In other words, they are not allowed to allow any outside graphics design service to create ads. It has to come from their corporate design service. So this makes it nice, because in your invoice that you send to them, you're able to, it shows the actual dimensions, so whenever this invoice is received by your point of contact of the business, they can easily forward it to their designer, their corporate designer, and they've got all the information right there. And then when you get the ad back, it's going to fit right in that spot perfectly. And the next time it's used, you can just use the same ad, or maybe just update an expiration date on it or something like that. So when there's an unused spot, it'll be blank. We can hit assign, and then when we assign it, we can pick the business. The business already needs to be in the system, so whether you sign them up or whether they've signed up already themselves, like as part of a one-time purchase for an ad size or whatever, they need to have an account. So you'll pick them from there, and you can clone an existing ad if they have one. That just speeds up the process if you're using the ad builder, which I'll get into in the next section. The row position, for the 11 by 17, it's a grid layout, so you've got 4 rows per page, and you've got 4 different pages. And so you just pick the top row. So if you're doing a half a page, you just, inside left row 1 is going to be the top row, and then it's going to be, a half a page. So let's use the example of this one, the outside front. We've got this one here is a half a page. So we would choose row 2 of the outside front and half a page, and that will span down here. So if there's something in row 3 on the outside front, it will give an error saying that something is already in that spot. So it's up to you to organize this. Now what you can do is simply click edit. If somebody's already in that spot and you want to reorganize things, somebody purchases a half page and you've already got somebody in there and you got to move someone around. What you can do is just put them on the unassigned waiting list, and that's just going to put them down here in this list, and you can just edit them later, move the other person, move them where you want them, and then go back down and re-edit the person that's on the waiting list and move them to their new spot. Or that's how you'll do it. If the whole thing is filled up and you're wanting to move people around, that's how you have to do it. If you've got some empty spots, it's not quite as, you can just move people around to where they need to go. The next thing I'll cover is the horizontal position. If you're dealing with 8th page or 12th page ads, that's what this applies to. And the invoice, you can create an invoice here. So if it's up to you whether you want to create an invoice for them or not. If you're doing a subscription, if they're on a subscription, a monthly subscription like the gold package, then they're going to be paying you monthly out of the subscription, and that may be all that's necessary. It's just they get the gold subscription, and then you're just fulfilling this in the back end. So you might just have 0 here and not worry about it. But if you are doing one-time, if they're purchasing a one-time purchase, like a small ad or a large ad or whatever, then, and let's say they haven't paid, they've just signed up, or you've created their account for them, then you could put their ad amount in the amount $4.99, negative $4.99, and then let's say they're part of two zones. Okay, so you're going to give them a $100 discount for each ad because they're a multi-zone discount. So you just put that in there, and that's nice because then it'll show up on their invoice as two separate. It'll put the subtotal, and then underneath it'll say whatever you itemize that as. Right here, you can put, this is the, or multi-zone discount or whatever. Okay, and then it'll subtract the $100 from this and come up with the final total, the $3.99 it would be. And then when you're ready to send the ad, you hit that button and click send, and it's going to email an order. Add order confirmation. All right, so they may not have paid you at this point if you created their account for them. They didn't go through your checkout process on your home page. Right here, let's say they didn't go through that. We're doing this all over the phone. Of course, you can direct them here if you want to make that purchase ahead of time, but it's not critical. Let's say you're on the accounts page, and you just want to add a new client. You fill out their information, make sure they're in the system, you send them a welcome email, and they can log in if they want, but sometimes they won't even do that. Okay, so now we're ready to fulfill the order. We've placed their order. They're going to get this add order confirmation email, and it's going to have all the details here, and it's going to attach the invoice. Okay, so they're going to be able to forward that to their accounting department or whoever might handle that, and that's really important for corporate businesses, because a lot of times for the point person to use a credit card, it may be harder for them, and they just want to. I had that in a couple cases where the person said, can you just send me an invoice, then I can just send it to accounting. It's just a whole lot easier for me to do it that way. And so this gives you that flexibility. Now, in there, now they need to get you their information. So I've created this feature called the Ad Questionnaire. They can click this link in the email, and that's going to open up the Ad Questionnaire. It's going to log them into their account, and the Ad Questionnaire, what headline do you want, all the information that they want to appear in the ads, and then the text, and then if you're on the 11 by 17, you get this choice of the number of coupons you want, and expiration date, exact text, and then you can choose the coupon style. And I believe the 9 by 12 postcard style might give you that as well. I can't remember. But in any case, you pick all this information, and then they submit, and that'll give you. Oh, there's more down here. Upload their company logo and maybe a former ad sample. These are two things that if they've done any ads before, they'll probably have these on hand. Once they submit that, it will send you a notification that'll have all these things attached if they're if they've uploaded them, and all the information here spelled out. So that way you can quickly forward that email to a designer with the info and get an ad back, or post it on Fiverr if you're going to be using Fiverr. And then once you get that email, we'll go back to our mailing overview here. You've already created the ad for them. You can now click on Build Ad. Okay, and there's all your questionnaire answers. So if you're going to be using the ad builder, there's an ad builder tool for 11 by 17. It's not available for the postcard formats because those are. It's just this was built for the 11 by 17 only, And so the postcard format, you just upload your custom file, okay, from your designer. But if you're using the builder, then you can upload a full page. There's a number of features that I'm going to cover on the builder on the next video. So I'll pause this now and jump to the next one.